Welcome to another exciting video. I'm your host, Corey Yancey, brought to you by Choice Ministries, and we're here today to do some Bible study. It's not going to be your typical Bible study, but this is going to be an interesting Bible study of the book of Job. Now, I'm going to go through some scriptures, and we're going to go through some chapters, and we're going to look at this thing. I want you to listen. I'm not going to really say nothing about different things, but I want you to look and understand what it's saying. I'm going to be listening just as well as you. Amen. And so we're going to listen to the book of Job and see what's going on. And I want you to especially pay attention to this first part. Amen. So let's get ready to hear it. Here you go.
The Book of Job, Chapter 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God, and eschewed evil. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep, and 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she-asses, and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the East. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, It may be that my sons have sinned, and cursed God in their hearts. Thus did Job continually. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God, and escheweth evil? Then Satan answered the Lord, and said, Doth Job fear God for naught? Hast not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job, and said, The oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabaeans fell upon them, and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, The fire of God is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, The Chaldeans made out 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and have carried them away, yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword. And I only have escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, Thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Then Job arose, and rent his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground, and worshipped, and said, Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly.
All right, all right. You said in the beginning, God, in the beginning of this passage, God was had all the sons coming together, the sons of God coming together, presenting themselves to Him, and gifts and paying homage or whatever. And the Bible says Satan came in, Lucifer came in, and as Lucifer came in, he got asked a question. Now y'all heard it. Y'all heard what was going on, you know. But I just want y'all to hear it and understand what's going on with that passage, because a lot of people don't know that the sons of God, He have more sons. They was like, no, Jesus was the only son. He said He was the only begotten son, not the only sons. Then He called us sons of God. So you have different things going on in heaven and in earth. You can't uh, you can't put a stipulation on God what He can have and what He can do. Before there was, He is. You got to think about it. So, uh, Job was minding his business. Job was minding his business, and he was doing his normal day routine. But God testified on Job's behalf, saying he was a perfect and upright man. And what was going on with him, he had accumulated all these things for years. He had manservants, he had ox, he had sheep, camels, he had all kinds of stuff, even older sons and children. And then one day the devil came in and God let it happen because him and God had a conversation. God don't talk to the devil. God don't deal with the devil. He don't. Why wouldn't he? He said it right there. He had a conversation with him. He said, "What you been doing?" Even though God understood what he was doing, but he said he like conversation. What you been doing? Going to and fro on the earth and seeking who I may devour. Well, so have you considered my servant Job a perfect, upright man? Of course. No, I ain't considering. What you think, man? You got this hedge around him. You got a protection around here. I can't get to him. So, but if you only move, God said, okay, bet. I'll move it. But that's what you better not do. And y'all heard it. Said from what you better not do. And guess what? All these calamities came and happened at the same time. He lost like a whole bunch of stuff at the same time. And the Bible say he rent his clothes, shaved his head bald, and kneel down and say, "Hey, God, give it," and He surely take it away. But he said, "No, the devil took it away." No, God allowed it for it to take away. So technically, God had a hand in that too. He had a hand in that too. So, all right, let's listen a little bit more. Second chapter.
Job 2. Again there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord, and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thy hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils, from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God, and die. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What, shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. Now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place, Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite. They had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him, and to comfort him. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off, and knew him not, they lifted up their voice and wept. And they rent every one his mantle, and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward heaven. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great. Job 3. After this opened Job his mouth, and cursed his day. And Job spake and said, Let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, There is a man-child conceived. Let that day be darkness, let not God regard it from above, neither let the light shine upon it. Let darkness and the shadow of death stain it. Let a cloud dwell upon it, let the blackness of the day terrify it. As for that night, let darkness seize upon it. Let it not be joined unto the days of the year, let it not come into the number of the months. Lo, let that night be solitary, let no joyful voice come therein. Let them curse it that curse the day, who are ready to raise up their mourning. Let the stars of the twilight thereof be dark. Let it look for light, but have none, neither let it see the dawning of the day. Because it shut not up the doors of my mother's womb, nor hid sorrow from mine eyes. Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? Why did the knees prevent me? Or why the breast, that I should suck? For now should I have lain still and been quiet, I should have slept, then had I been at rest. With kings and counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver, or as an hidden untimely birth I had not been, as infants which never saw light. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together, they hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. Wherefore is light given to him that is in misery, and life unto the bitter in soul, which long for death, but it cometh not, and dig for it more than for hid treasures, which rejoice exceedingly, and are glad when they can find the grave. Why is light given to a man whose way is hid, and whom God hath hedged in? For my sighing cometh before I eat, and my roarings are poured out like the waters. For the thing which I greatly feared is come upon me, and that which I was afraid of is come unto me. I was not in safety, neither had I rest, neither was I quiet, yet trouble came.
All right. Now, the second verse talks about how God entertained Satan again the second time. He asked him again where he was coming from, to and fro, seeking who I may devour again. This is the second chapter of the book of Job, and he said that, why did you, make me do this for nothing to him? So now he's finna give him a stipulation. Now he said, "Okay, you want a reason? Okay, I'm gonna give you a reason. Well, this is the reason. I can't touch him. You won't let me touch his skin. You won't let me touch his balls. You won't none of that. I promise you. If you do that, I make him cuss you to your face. He had no alternative." God said, "Okay, bet. Let's get it done. Let's get it done." And all of a sudden, he's getting ready to get all that stuff done all to Job, and then the third chapter gets on to it, and Job had a pity party and some questions why all these things happen. Have you ever had a lot of devastation things, stated things happen to you that it made you question your life? It make you question what you've been through. He started questioning about his mom. I maybe I shouldn't have been born to go through all this stuff like that. And I understand people go through life and they're like, I wish I never been born, and they think the circumstances so hard and so like jacked up or something like that. But a lot of times it's not all that bad as it seems. It's still bad, but it ain't bad as it seems, because you are overcomer. You go through trials, you go through tribulations, but a lot of stuff, if we deal with it and be the truth, that stuff hurt. That stuff is weird. That stuff is crazy. You could be doing good one moment and all of a sudden catching hell the next one, and you be like, man, what is going on? And it's like people don't care because they consumed in their own problems. Of course, you go to the church and talk to the leaders and talk to whoever near you or a friend, or you cry out with somebody. But if you look at it, everybody going through hell. Everybody going through something. Or everybody went through something, and that could testify, and you ain't the only one who went through it. But at the same time, this is back to back for years. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but this is in the beginning of what's going on with Job. So I want, just to give you some backdrop about Job and some clarity if y'all didn't understand in the beginning of Job. I'm going to have some more Bible study. But the next Bible study that we're going to have is the beginning. And we're going to look at Genesis, and we're going to look up the whole thing. We're going to listen to the whole book of Genesis. So it's going to be by series. So that way the video won't, last so long. So that's it for our Bible audio study. Hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment below. Make sure you subscribe. Hey man, make sure you hit the bell for the next productions. So we're gonna be doing a lot of things coming up. I mean, a lot of things coming up. And so stay tuned to these other videos, which is Worship